Hello everyone, it's Friday afternoon. All the real work has been done for the week, so now is a good moment to do some AI supported web development. So today I'm going to build a little app called My Cool Summer Event. It's going to be very straightforward. It's an event where a page where people can register for the summer event, and I as an admin can view and modify registrations. We're going to build 3 pages, a registration, thank you, and admin page. The software stack I'm using is a MySQL database. I'm going to build a web server with Python, Flask, and SQLAlchemy. And on the front end, I'll use HTML, CSS, and plain vanilla JavaScript. And as development tools, I'll use Visual Studio Code Nightly and Copilot Chat Private Beta, and that's the secret sauce that is supposed to make my life very easy today. So let's try it out. This is an unedited, uncut recording. Probably some things will go wrong, and I'll fix them along as we go along. So let's see how this works. We're not fully starting from scratch. I did a little bit of environment preparation because that's pretty boring. So what I have is a MySQL database with a demo schema in it, but no tables. We'll get to that later. I've also prepared a Python environment. So I have a demo virtual environment, and I installed the dependencies that I need, so Flask and SQLAlchemy, and I set up the connection string. So that's all. So the only file I have is demo.py, but I don't have CSS and I don't have HTML files yet. So we'll create them as we go along. Over here I have the chat window. So this is Github Copilot Chat, and let's make it develop an app. So here we go. I'm going to tell it that we're going to do it in which languages we're going to use. You will build an app using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, SQLAlchemy, Flask, and MySQL. There we go. An app where people can register for My Cool Summer Event. I have a database but no tables. Generate SQL to create a table. Let's see what it does. So, based on the fact that we want to register, it is suggesting a table with some basic information. It generates a primary key, that's good. Name, email, and phone number, that's also reasonable, except that I would like to have a first name and last name. First name and last name. First name, last name, email, phone. Yeah, that looks good. So let's create this table, copy here in MySQL Workbench, run, and it seems to have succeeded. Let's check, refresh, table, attendees. Okay. Select rows. Yeah, looks good. No data, of course, but the table is there and the structure is as I wanted. Okay, now let's create a registration. No, a Flask endpoint so people can register. Let's create a Flask endpoint for registrations. Let's be more explicit. To add data to the table. Call it call the endpoint register. You see, this is not quite what I need, so maybe I should have done it in the in another order. Because what I actually want to, I don't want to return a JSON message when this endpoint is called. I want a registration page to appear. When this endpoint is called, a registration page should appear where people can enter their data and submit the registration. Okay, so it's now going to return register.html, this return message. This doesn't make sense actually. Attendee registered successfully. No, actually it does. Let's keep it. But what we need, of course, is register.html. So let's create that. So here we need a new file, register.html. Okay, but I'm obviously too lazy to write HTML myself. Now generate the HTML for register.html. And let's see what it does. Let's see, input fields, but the register button is missing. This should call the Flask registration endpoint. So it's apologizing, very nice. Although I have the feeling this is not going to work. It says submit, but there's no action. Action URL for register. Hang on a sec, so maybe I'm wrong, I think. Let's try. Okay, so we have HTML, we have created the register endpoint. What we don't have is code to run the web server. I need Python code to run the web server. From demo import app, so that's actually not what I need because that's already covered here. So the app, that is app Flask name start. So all I need is this. So I'll add that at the end. And if I run it now, yes, that's good. Now let's see if it generates the registration page. Home, but I need to call the register endpoint. Hey, here we go. First name, last name, email, phone number. Let's try. Register. Attendee is not defined. What is going wrong here? So what we have, did I forget to copy something? Yeah, what is missing is a database class. Why didn't from Python a DB class reflecting the attendees table is missing. So as you can see, it does make mistakes sometimes, so you do need to know a bit about Python and JavaScript, etc. And you need to know what you want to build, because you do have to correct it occasionally. Class is attendee, so let's check something, because our table is called attendees with an S. So that's also going to go wrong if I don't fix this. But here we go. Here's attendees. I'm going to tell it the table is called attendees, so I named the class accordingly. Hopefully it will remember this, so when it starts generating the other endpoints that we're going to need, it's not going to keep making the same mistake. Fingers crossed. See, and it does it. Well, we'll see if it's doing it wrong. I think it's doing it wrong. Again, it does it without the S. I'm going to stick to the S. Let's try it. Okay, back, register. Let's refresh. Although it's not necessary, register. Hey, here we go. Let's check the database. And the entry is there. Great. So that was a little mistake that it made. Even after I corrected it, I said that the table is called attendees, so that means this should be called attendees. That's basically the nature of SQLAlchemy. But it made the same mistake twice. So keep an eye on these kind of little things. Now what it did is it put this JSON message here, and what I actually want is a nice HTML page that says welcome or something like that. So let's change that. After successful registration, I want to display a thank you page instead of the JSON string. Render the thank you page, so return render template.html, that sounds reasonable. I need the HTML to generate the thank you HTML page. Copy, oops. New file, thank you.html. Save. Let's try again. Great. It doesn't look very slick yet, but we'll do some changes there later. For now, we want functionality. Okay, so we're able to register. In the database, I should see 2 of these now. Yes, good. So far, we're making progress. Now, let's work on our admin page. Let's do the admin page. To recap the requirements. 1, display all the registrations. What's important is that the fields are editable. The fields need to be editable, a modify button to submit changes, and 3, a delete button to delete a registration. Let's see what happens. That's nice. So it comes up with the Python endpoint called admin, where it fetches the data from the form request form and then adds it to the database. So that's nice. Very good. Copy. Again, this attendees issue, but not bad, not bad. And we need an, what's it called? Admin.html, so let's create that. Admin.html, and we're going to need our code there. Copy into cursor. Okay, let's see if that works. So if I go to the admin endpoint, I do need to restart. Let's do that. Demo. Hop. Admin. Hey, there we go. Okay, let's call this guy John Doe. John at Hotmail. Modify. Okay. Let's see. I got an HTTP code 200, so that suggests success. Now let's check the database. And there is our change. Wow, that's good. Let's see if this works. 999, for example, modify. Let's see. Yeah, so the buttons are correctly aligned with the records in the database. So that was easy. Let's delete, see if that works. We hadn't built delete yet. So of course it doesn't. Now, so the button is there, but do we have a function? Admin, delete value, attendee, modify, delete. Okay, the delete button doesn't work. Let's see if it can fix that. Okay, let's see. So this is the admin endpoint. Again, I need to fix attendees, but okay. If that's my problem in life, I can survive. Let's try delete again. Hey, boom. And it's gone from the database. Let's register again. Jane Tarzan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, register. It even has an email validation, but it's not very sophisticated. Register. Okay. So actually we're fully functional already. So this is really nice. So let's work on look and feel a bit, because it's a bit basic, I would say. Let's see if it can suggest us something. Okay, it works. Let's work on appearance, as this is for a summer event. Suggest a color scheme, well, a fitting color scheme, and generate the CSS. Start with, well, we don't have to start, let's see what it does. Yellow, blue, white, dark gray. Okay, let's see what it so we need to put this in a CSS page. So let's create one. This needs to go in the static CSS folder, so we'll call it styles.css. We'll put it here. We also have to adapt the HTML. I put it in styles.css. How do I use it in HTML? In the header, yes, this is the bit I need. Register in the header. Also here it generates a full piece of HTML. Obviously I shouldn't replace my entire registration page with that, so I just looked for the style sheet reference that's here and I copied it into my HTML. And we'll do that everywhere because we're going to need it. Save, admin. Okay, let's see how it looks. Rubbish. Why? I see no change. So it doesn't seem to have fetched the style sheet. So I must have done something wrong. Let's check the header, CSS, static style, typos. Here, style.css, it's actually looking for styles.css with the plural, so that's easy to fix. Styles. And styles. Again, what the? Why not? So let's check static files.css. We've got root, the background color should be. Let's do crazy, see if it picks up the background color, but I don't think so, no. It's just not picking up the styles. Why not? Empty. Don't tell me I forgot to press save. New folder, CSS. little details are always a bit annoying. It's usually a typo, or did I make a mistake with uppercase, lowercase? Yes, static. Hello. And not static CSS styles.css. So the one. Okay. Okay, so it's in the wrong place. Let's put it in static. Yes, I want to move it. Okay, doesn't look great yet, but at least we see now that it has picked up the CSS. So I want to center this. The text on the, well, everything actually. The registration page should be horizontally centered. Okay. Okay, it's a bit better. I'm not going to bother too much about the colors. The point we're trying to make here is that it can easily generate CSS for you. What I do want to fix is this this distancing and maybe also the alignment of the input fields. So put some distance between the input boxes. Okay, let's see what that looks like. It's already better. Make sure the input boxes are left aligned to each other and make them 50% wider. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay, but then this should be put the labels to the left of the input boxes. Okay, so now suggesting slightly different HTML, so I'm not going to copy this because I'm going to get my mistakes back, perhaps. I know, it should work. Anyway, I'm going to just copy the body. That's where the change happened. And that didn't fix anything. Why not? Ah, okay, the CSS, yeah. Name, email, phone, this is wrong. See, here it's ended up making another mistake. So here it's suggesting only the name field, where earlier I made a change, first name, last name. So we need to pay attention. And by the way, I've also played with ChatGPT, with GPT-4, and that also makes these kind of mistakes occasionally. So you really have to pay attention. But it's suggesting to put them in a div. Okay, that we can then do. So the email, phone, and register are fine. And then here we'll do the div format. Okay. And this goes into our CSS. Okay, let's see. Yes, now it looks a little bit better, but still, a name. What did I do? First name, last name. Okay. Maybe ideally I would also vertically align, put this in the vertically center this compared to the inputs and so on. But we'll leave it at this for now. Let's see what the admin page looks like. So the admin page is screwed up. On the admin page, the input boxes are way too narrow. So I basically changed this. Nah. On the admin page, add a, well, we should have a bit of margin between them. Add 5 pixels left and right margin to the inputs boxes. Yeah, this is such a small change, I actually don't need Github Copilot, because this should be one little margin bottom, margin 0. Yeah, this is basically what we need. Could have done that myself. And let's see what happens now. And that doesn't work. So here I'm starting to struggle a bit, as you can see. This is padding. Why is there margin? Ah, I see what the problem is. This is a table, so these are table cells, not HTML elements. So I need to probably need to increase the size of the table. the table on the admin page needs to be what? 2 times is it? 2 times as wide. So this looks a bit strange, because it says the table needs to be 200% width, which normally 100% is the entire width of the containing HTML element. So if this table is contained by this form, 200% would mean that the table becomes twice as wide as the page. That doesn't make sense. But what is strange is the margin is way too. Where does it get this margin? Okay. Let's try. Okay, so I did do something here. That's good. On the admin page, the table should be left aligned. So it says here that it's added a margin property to the table element. Okay, let's see. And here probably somebody who's really good at CSS can do this quicker than I'm doing it now with help of ChatGPT, but it's a bit, CSS can be a bit of a pain in the ass. Form, there's a problem with the form. I don't need to limit the width of the form. So the inputs, let's make them, I know, 50 pixels. That's not quite enough. there's something with the TD. Alright, this is going to take too long, so I'm going to solve this pragmatically. It is only the admin page, this is not user facing, so we'll just keep it simple. How I would solve this if I would want to make this look nicer is create a separate CSS file specific to the admin page, so I can tailor to the table format here. Okay, so we've got a admin page. Let's have a quick look at what the thank you page looks like. Registrations, register. Hello. Helmut Zurich. Bit of gibberish. Register. Okay. Now, one last thing I want to do is on the register page. Register for we need a nice hero section with some text to entice people to register. Basically, we want to add a hero section with some nice text. Okay, let's go to the register page. And add the cursor. Create a hero section with an inviting text to convince people to register. Okay, so I did that, but yeah, I want a bit more than this. But I'm not very creative when it comes to writing, so let's ask ChatGPT. Let's ask GPT-4. This is my hero section. Write a more inviting text. Use the words margaritas, juicy steaks, sunshine, and fun. Yes, that's a lot better. Let's use this. Now there's quite a bit of text. Let's see if that fits on the page. Yeah, it needs a bit of layout, but that's fine. Okay, this is basically as far as I want to take it today. So we've used Copilot Chat to help us write code. A little bit of creativity from ChatGPT to make this more, make the text more appealing. There's a lot we could do on look and feel, but that will take a bit longer. But yeah, we could use background pictures. We could use MidJourney to generate a nice background. You know, maybe we'll do that. Why not? Let's see, new chat, ChatGPT-4, plugins. And here we have our MidJourney prompter. Let's have a tropical beach, white sand, sunshine, blue clouds, no, blue sky with a few clouds. And let's have a palm tree. Foreground on the left. Now it writes a prompt that I'm going to use in MidJourney. MidJourney apparently likes poetic, elaborate descriptions, so we'll take it. So it's generating two, but let's just take this MidJourney. Imagine prompt. And there it goes. We have to wait a bit. In the meantime, is there anything we need to change here? We have a registration function. The database works. And here you can see MidJourney starting to generate an image. It takes a little bit, but it's interesting to see how it generates this with a sort of a start with a blurry sketch and adds more and more detail. Almost there. Okay. I think this one is pretty, well, they're all pretty cool actually. This one even has some waves. Let's enhance this. Whoop, and here I have a fairly high resolution generated image that I could use. No need to worry about copyright or anything like that. I'm not going to actually add that, you'll get the point. Okay, this is basically the demo that I wanted to give today. I hope you enjoyed it and see how, and notice how fast you can develop something with a bit of help from in this case Github Copilot Chat, but you can do the same thing as ChatGPT. You describe your requirements, it will generate the code and the CSS, and you copy paste it in your application, and you make it work. And I deliberately say you make it work because you do need to pay attention, and especially when your app gets a bit bigger, it starts to lose context. So then you really need to consider it a tool with which you build building blocks that you need to integrate yourself, and keep an eye on that it all works. But overall, I find it a major productivity booster. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.